Hi everyone, welcome to a new video from Debbie's Designs. Mother's Day is just around the corner and I thought this Calla Lily card would be perfect. I'm going to see my mom this weekend, so I'm going to actually hand deliver this card to her. So I'm going to list all the supplies you need and then we'll go step by step on creating the flowers first and then we'll assemble the card. So let's get going. The stamp set I'm using today is the Birthday Blossoms, and I'm using the Celebrate You. I thought I'd be a little different and not use Happy Mother's Day. I'm going to put something inside the card instead, so that the Celebrate You is what I'm using for this card. The only ink you're going to need today is the Pear Pizzazz ink. And then you're going to need the layering hearts to cut out 5 hearts, because that's what we're going to be doing, or making the calla lilies out of. And though the heart I'm using actually measures 2.5 inches tall, and I believe it's the second one from the largest out of the collection. The first thing I want to do is show you how to make the calla lilies. I got 2 here that are made. We're going to use one of the hearts, and if you can find something round like this retired glue barrel, I just kind of curve it that way just to help me. And then I'm going to add glue just to one side of the heart. Put this one down and this one over it, and then just press them in place like that and hold it for a little bit. The next step, I've cut a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock 1.5 inches wide, and it was just a strip. I've used my fringe scissors to fringe all the way across, and then I'm just going to roll it a couple times and rip it off and add a little bit of dab, or a little dab with my glue gun. Press that flat. Be careful, the glue is hot. And then I'm going to add one more dab of hot glue. Put this on the inside, and I have a paintbrush here that I'm using just to press on it. Once that's glued in place, then all I do is kind of fluff up the little petals. So I'm going to create 2 more of these and we'll assemble the card. Now, to use with my flowers, I wanted to create a double bow, and I'm using the lace trim. That comes in, there's 5 yards, and that is actually carrying over into the 2017-2018 catalog. And this is a tool that my husband makes, and we actually sell. I have them on my blog for sale on my page. I'm going to wrap that around twice. Bring it to the front and create my double bow. And I do show instructions on how to do this that come with the tool. And let me just pull this over a little bit. And there's my double bow. See how quick that was? So now let's go over the remaining supplies you're going to need to complete a card. The card base is Daffodil Delight 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. Whisper White 5 1/4 by 4, and Succulent Garden Designer Paper 5 by 3 3/4. Now this paper is actually retiring, and I'm not sure if it's sold out yet, but it has really pretty patterns, a lot of succulent flowers, thus the name Succulent Garden. We're also going to need a doily from the Delicate White Doilies. And then once we glue all the flowers in place, I'll show you how to make some calla lily leaves. So let's fold this in half. And I'm going to glue the Whisper White layer. And you'll see how the white between the cardstock, the Daffodil Delight, and the Succulent Garden really makes a difference. Whenever you need something to pop, always add white in between. See how pretty that looks? And now we're going to add the doily. I'm going to add this a little higher because I'm going to add a sentiment down here. Now something else that I've gone ahead and cut ahead of time is some stems for my calla lilies. I actually used the Sunshine Wishes die, and I just used the bottom section and cut 5 pieces for my 5 flowers. We are going to be using the hot glue gun. And yes, this card is going to be quite bulky, but I am going to be seeing my mom in person. So that's why I wanted to do this card for her. This is one of those cards you would hand deliver. Okay, so I'm going to add glue. I'd rather use hot glue too because it is so bulky. So I'm going to add one in the corner like that. And then 2 on each side. And the hot glue will really hold this in place. Now I need to figure out where I want to put the other 2. I'm just going to do like this. So I'm going to add glue to the very tip and to the very bottom, so that they will glue on top of the other calla lilies. Okay, now that I've pressed that in place, I'm going to add my little stems. And for these, I'm really only going to be tucking them in. So I'm just going to add glue to the tips. And if I need to trim them, I will do so once I have them all in place. So this is my longest one, so I'm just going to tuck that in there and press down. And you can shape them, any way you want. I'm going to make them look like a bouquet and spread them out a little bit. And now what I'm going to do, now that these are tucked in, I'm going to glue these 2 calla lilies together. So I added glue there to the side. I'm just going to press them together. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my paper snips and just snip a couple of these. And since I do have a glue gun, I'm just going to add the bow right there. And then we'll trim the ribbon. And now all we have left to do is to stamp the sentiment in place. So I'm going to bring in the Pear Pizzazz ink and my sentiment, and I'm going to stamp this right towards the bottom, and that says "Celebrate You." Isn't that pretty? I'm sure my mom would love this card. I hope you give it a try. It's really not that hard to create your flowers and shape them into calla lilies. If you have any questions, make sure you leave me a message. And I do appreciate your thumbs up to let me know how I'm doing. Thanks for stopping by.